What is up, you guys? It is Hayden and Grayson back for another installment of the Bad Boys Fantasy Football Podcast.
Yes, that's true. We are back. It is week 8, a great week 7, some would say. I would say, Hayden would not say. Great week 7. A lot of movement around in the league. Seems like things are starting to level out. You know, shit's starting to find the sewage hole, if you know what I mean.
We're starting to find out who's who and who's poo.
Yeah, who's who and who's poo. And I think, you know what, Hayden? I think the season hinges on week 8.
Yep, it's a big week.
Yep.
But what is annoying about week 8, and we can get into it later, the standings after week 8 really can't move at all because all the top 4 teams play one another, the middle 4 teams all play one another, and the bottom 4 teams play one another.
Yes and no, because that means at least 2 of the top teams are going to lose, and that means 2 of the middle teams are going to win. So if you think about it that way, there could be a lot of movement in the league.
We'll talk about that more here in a second.
We'll
Let's
talk
get back to
about
week
that
7. Let's rewind.
Rewind.
All right, so week 7. I'll start at my matchup because it's the top one. I lost to Andrew. Andrew had a great week. He scored 128 points. I only scored 100. Let's see. He had Jahmyr Gibbs go stupid mode, and everyone else on his team just did well. I thought for a little bit. He also had Javonte having basically the best game of his career, second best fantasy game of his career.
Cinema of the week.
So yeah, Andrew did great. I thought going into Sunday night football or during Sunday night football, I thought I might have had a chance to get back in it, but then the wheels just fell off like halfway through that game. It went a while. He had Tyler Conklin, Garrett Wilson, and I had the Jets defense, and he had the Steelers defense, and everything was trending in my direction. And then like it all fell off like right at the end of the second quarter, where Conklin went from 0 catches to 1 catch and 1 touchdown. Garrett Wilson had 1 catch, and then started doing well after the fact. Jets defense did awful and ended up negative. Steelers defense did well. So it was dead after Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, but I think you'll get your last 4 guys, and they got you a combined 3 points.
Yeah. No, it's always annoying. It's always great the weeks that you can get like 30 out of your kicker plus defense. It's the worst ever when you get 1 point out of your kicker plus defense.
Which is why kickers need to be out of the league.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about that.
It's also one of those matchups where, like, once Javonte had 24 on Thursday night, it just feels like you already lost.
I just hated it because it was like, again, you take out Jameson Williams. Whenever games are going on, I don't really look at my kicker or defense. It's like,
just whatever happens.
Whatever happens with them. And I was looking at the rest of them. Travis Kelce didn't do well, but he's a tight end, so whatever. I don't expect tight ends to do well. I don't care who your name is.
That's true.
And then everyone else on my roster, besides Jameson Williams, who was like, again, I had a bye week for my wide receiver 2/wide receiver 1. He was a fill-in, so I wasn't expecting big things out of him. I would have liked better than 0.1 points.
Sure.
But everybody else on my team did great. Everyone exceeded their projection.
Well, enough of that.
Yeah, I lost. Grayson, let's hear about your game.
I won. I'm
Let's
not gonna apologize for winning. I know people might want me to do that with Jaden Daniels going down with an injury, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to apologize. I scored 112 points. I feel as though I deserved a win for that. And who knows? Jaden Daniels stays out there. He might not score 13 more, and hell, most of that would be to Zach Ertz anyways. So I like my win. I'm not going to apologize for winning. I plan to do this more often. So haters, get ready.
Get used to it.
Right? But yeah, I did win. Saquon, another Saquon game. He was really the only guy that did much. Amari Cooper, Zach Ertz, good plug-ins there. Jordan Love was surprisingly like the QB5, scoring like 16 points. But yeah, pretty average week with some good defense and kicker scores for me.
Nice. Next was Alex versus Davis. Davis's team did so bad that I say that, but Davis wasn't the lowest scoring team on the week. That's kind of crazy.
True.
Davis scored 65 points. Alex scored 101. A regular Joe Schmo week for Alex, just a bad week for Davis. So far, coming off of one week outside of the massive trade that we did, Davis is through 1 week. Davis is the loser of the trade.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I got Jaden Reed through that, and he only got 2 points.
Yeah, that's true.
So I can still be
But
the
you
loser.
won. Everyone, all of us were the loser of the trade.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
All of us would have had the exact same result if we never did the trade.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true.
Next, again, Stubbs did awful, scored 72. Patrick did solid, scored 111.
Baker somehow got 27 points.
Yeah,
It felt like he was just absolutely terrible for the second and third quarter of that game, but he's a bookend player.
Yep. Next, another one. Brayson lost, scored 64 points. You're not going to win many games scoring 64 points, but not to take away from the 134 Eddie scored. That's a good week by Eddie.
Yeah, great
That's a
week.
good boy. That's a good week by Eddie. Yeah, see, he had the classic defense scoring him basically 30 points, 29.6.
Kicker and defense.
Kicker plus defense, and then the rest of his team did solid.
Yeah, he did his thing. He
Yeah.
did his thing.
So good for you, Eddie. Brayson, be better.
Make
Next,
trades, Brayson. Make
Next,
trades.
Hunter beat Rob. Rob was probably the only person this week who put up a good performance and lost. I hate to see that. I assume, I haven't really looked at it, I assume he was in the top 6 in scoring. Let's see, 1, 2,
But you look at his team; he didn't really put up a
3,
good.
4. Yeah, he was.
He had 33 out of his kicker and the Bengals defense, and then
21. Yeah, see, he was the exact opposite of mine. He had almost all of his points from the bottom 3 players in his
Yeah.
lineup. I had none.
not to take away anything from a good week for Rob.
Yep. Hunter might have won on the scoreboard, but you can make the argument that his team was the biggest loser this week. He's lost Chris Godwin and Brandon Ayuk for the rest of the season. It seems
But
to have
he
no
gained
no
David
interest in trying to fix that.
Yeah, I mean, I think in his eyes, he lost a guy that scored 10 and a guy that scored 3, but he gained David Njoku, who scored 18.
The best thing that could happen for Hunter is if the Raiders decide that they're so depleted at wide receiver, they're just going to make Brock Bowers receiver.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can do that.
You can't,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, like, it'd be nice for Hunter if he could put Brock Bowers at receiver on his team.
You know, I was listening to
Then he could do what he wants more than anything, and that's play another tight end.
I was listening to our rival podcast today, the Fantasy Footballers.
Yeah.
Love the show, guys.
Bleep out their name, please, producer.
But they were saying they think you should be able to play a defense in any slot that you want.
Yeah,
and
that's
I kind of
funny.
like that.
I feel like you should at least be able to in flex.
I think you should be able to play a defense in any slot that you want. If you don't have a running back, play an extra defense. I think that would be a fun random rule.
Yeah.
But obviously we're not going to do that. This is a real man's league. But maybe if we ever bring back, what was it, the bullpen?
Yep.
Ever bring back bullpen? Maybe we do a universal defense.
Yep. But that is how everything shakes out. Hunter was the number 1 scorer of the week, the bad bitch, and Brayson was the good boy at 64.24 points. The standings are now as follows. In first place, Hunter 5-2. Second place, Alex 5-2. Third place, Andrew 5-2. Fourth place, Eddie 5-2. And then fifth, sixth, and seventh are Logan, Grayson, and Patrick, respectively, at 4-3. Eighth, I'm the lone man at 3-4. 9th, 10th, and 11th are Brayson, Davis, and Stubbs at 2-5. And bringing up the rear is Rob at 1-6 on a 5-game losing streak. Davis also on a 5-game losing streak. Let's see if, Brayson on a 5-game losing streak. I believe they might play each other next week. So something's got to give game.
Yeah, something's got to give.
Somebody's got to.
It's kind of crazy. Hunter has 850 points for.
Yep.
He is making a mockery out of this league the way he's playing it.
Yeah.
But he He lost all of his guys. No way he's going to be that good going forward, right?
We'll see what happens. I mean, we said there's no way he's going to be that good after drafting 4 tight ends, and look at the bloke.
Look at the fucking bloke.
Yeah. So waivers and trades and waivers.
Yes.
Huh?
Let's get into
let's get into the action. Waivers, big long list of waivers this week. Some interesting players popping up too in waivers. I accidentally spent too much money. I didn't mean to.
Whoops.
I didn't think, starting off, I got Juwan Jennings for $25. I didn't think that would be the winning bid, but I was like, I should at least be throwing my name in the hat for Juwan Jennings. I thought someone would pay big money for him.
Yeah.
So I do think that like it was a good deal that I got him for $25, but my intention was to not actually have spent that money.
There wasn't that much fab running around in the league.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
Rob and Hunter that have
They're
the most.
They're the rich boys. Next, Ricky Pearsall went for 23. There's the same kind of situation. I had 18 on Ricky Pearsall just because it was like I have to bid on Ricky Pearsall. I got Jalen McMillan at $22. Rob got Cade Otton at $15, much to Andrew's dismay. Eddie got Keon Coleman at 8. Patrick got the Chiefs D. Davis got Dak Prescott. Logan got Caleb Williams. Patrick Tutu Atwell. Alex the Lions D. Alex Dontavian Wicks. Alex Emmanuel Wilson. Big Packers guy. Andrew Hunter Henry. Grayson is it Will Reichard?
Yeah, something like that.
W. Reichard. Brayson, Texans defense. Davis, Will Lutz. Brayson, Brandon McManus, and Davis, the Bears defense. That's all the
And
waivers.
Rob, Cade Otton.
I said Rob Cade Otton.
Oh,
Is
sorry,
you got
my bad.
it. I said much to Andrew's dismay, Cade Otton.
Yeah,
$15 on.
you want to talk about that?
Which part of it?
It's kind of crazy that he did that.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Yeah. I don't know why he did, but
I mean, you don't want to bash Rob. You don't want to bash Rob. But
the part that doesn't make sense to me, a $15 bid on Cade Otton, right? Nary a dollar of a bid on Ricky Pearsall. Not a bid on Juwan Jennings.
this comes days after trading for Trey McBride.
Yeah, not a bid on Jalen McMillan. Not a bid on Keon Coleman. Like no, yeah. He bid on one player this week and it was $15. Again, I was talking to Andrew. I don't know. Andrew was just dumbfounded over the fact that he did $15. I was curious. I wonder what you saw how Sleeper added like the suggested.
Mm-hmm.
I was curious if Cade Otton's was $15 was what they suggested.
You want to know something real funny about this?
Yeah.
Trey McBride and Cade Otton have the same bye week.
Yeah, I know. Trust me.
So
Trust me, I know all about Cade. I talked to Andrew yesterday.
on top of all of this, you call it a hedge play. Are you ever really going to play Cade Otton over Trey McBride? I don't know. Maybe.
And like, unless you think, and I guess it's not like the most outlandish theory in the world, but like Cade Otton is the most targeted pass catcher moving forward in Tampa. Whoever is the most targeted pass catcher moving forward in Tampa is going to be valuable for fantasy.
Well,
So, like-
here's my 2 cents on it to Rob. If you think Cade Otton is valuable enough to spend 15 on to basically share your roster with Trey McBride, because it's not a bye week thing,
Yeah.
I would go out and trade Trey McBride.
Yeah.
Like, especially like where your team is at right now. Trade Trey McBride. You got Cade Otton. If you think he's going to be good,
Yeah.
like ride it out. I mean, honestly, I think Cade Otton and Trey McBride are probably about the same. I mean, I think Trey McBride's going to be probably a point or two better per game, but I don't think win or lose. So there's my 2 cents to Rob. I would trade Trey McBride or go to Andrew and get your 15 fab back.
I think they're both safe tight ends to play. I think the only tight end that has a high ceiling is George Kittle at this
I
point.
mean, Brock Bowers.
Yeah, but like the Raiders don't really be scoring touchdowns. Like George Kittle at least
Yeah.
catches a bunch of touchdowns.
Yeah.
Anyway,
fair enough.
but on to trades. Was
I think you were the only.
I the only trade?
Yeah. I mean, we could talk real life trades that had to do with your trade.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins for Dalton Kincaid was
Yeah,
a fantasy
so
trade.
I sent out, as I'm sure a lot of people in here know, because a lot of people got trade offers. I just started to send anybody that didn't have a tight end that I deemed better than Dalton Kincaid, or that had a tight end that I was like, this tight end's been struggling. I don't know how they feel about their tight end. I don't know how they feel about Kincaid. Let me send something. So I think it was like 5 or 6 different teams that I sent offers for Kincaid. Brayson ended up being the one to accept the trade offer, where he gave me the Tennessee Titans wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins at about 12 o'clock on, I guess, Tuesday. Fast forward to Wednesday morning, I wake up to a notification that DeAndre Hopkins has been traded to the Chiefs.
Yes.
I don't think it's going to be some kind of league breaking trade, but it did like get substantially better for me overnight, and
Yep.
from Brayson's probably it was a smart trade for Brayson to do. I would be willing to bet that Brayson was probably going to try to drop DeAndre Hopkins to pick up fucking Ricky Pearsall or Juwan Jennings this week. Like, he was probably in consideration to be dropped anyway. So not a stupid trade for unfortunate turnout. He probably wouldn't have done the trade after the real life trade happened, but I don't think it's going to be anything that he looks back on at the end of the season like, fuck, that ruined my team or some shit.
I think Dalton Kincaid is going to be comparable to DeAndre Hopkins in terms of Dalton Kincaid's probably, a top 10, maybe the 10th tight end or something like that.
Yeah.
And then DeAndre Hopkins probably going to be, the 30th receiver, 25th receiver, something like that.
My thought, as of with my current starting lineup, I'm never going to start DeAndre Hopkins unless one of my guys gets injured. I do think the only difference is if DeAndre Hopkins is healthy and playing, I don't think he'll ever get a 0 on a week. He'll never goose egg. That's still in the cards for Kincaid.
Yeah, I mean that's in the cards for any tight end.
That's the only difference. I don't see him being really a fraction of what Rashee Rice was. I think
I think he'll be fine.
I think they're gonna try to put him. He'll probably share that role with. Did Juju go on IR or is he just?
I don't think he went on IR.
Yeah, when Juju's healthy, I'm sure it'll be a quote unquote timeshare of them doing the Rashee Rice role, and it's gonna make both of them you might get 8 points, 14 points if they get a touchdown that week, but you're never really going to want to start any of the Chiefs receivers.
One other thing that you have Kelsey already, so you're not trying to jam another Chiefs receiver into your lineup.
Yeah, no. Ideal situation for me is that he comes out and looks great in his first game, and then I trade him to one of you suckers.
That's right.
And then he gets traded back to the Titans.
He gets traded back to the Texans.
That could be something.
Wouldn't it? It'll end the career.
That's all the trades.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all the trades. I guess hop into the week 8 preview.
We're random dancing. That's what I was looking for.
Random dancing.
Let's start with my matchup because it's at the top. I will be picking myself as I always do.
Let's go.
I do like myself this week against Patrick. I think Jordan Love and the Jaden Reed stack against the Jaguars is just so juicy.
Oh, yes. I would eat that up.
Yeah, that is just a juicy ass stack. Amari Cooper, first full week of practice, going to face Seattle. Should be a competitive game. I like that matchup there. Jalen Waddle with Tua back in my flex. It's nice to have something to look forward to with Jalen Waddle. I'll say it. And then maybe the best play of the week, the Broncos defense against Bryce Young in Carolina.
Yep.
Just a phenomenal play.
You've got a lot of on your bench. You got a lot of green on
Yeah.
matchups. I just noticed that. No one that I would put in the game, but that's a whole lot of green.
I'm hoping that those green matchups turn into some good games, and I can use those guys as some trade pieces.
Good thinking. Patrick's got no pushover team either. He's got a good enough team to sneak up and come beat you.
Yes.
He's got 4 players playing in the Falcons-Buccaneers game, so that's going to make or break him. But don't count him out. But I'm picking you as well.
I appreciate that.
Yep. Now on to my game because mine's at the top for me. I like me in my game. We're going to see a lot and be able to make a confident prediction on who's going to win this game after Thursday Night Football tonight. as I have Kyron Williams and Aaron Jones. And I'm playing Logan, by the way. I'm playing Logan. Sleeper projects me as a 3-point fit. Oh, we forgot to talk about the betting lines.
Oh yeah, you want to talk lines?
Yeah, let's
Go back to my
Let's
matchup.
go back to Grayson's. I'll pull it up. You can stay on your shit.
Okay. Yeah, so me and Hayden found a website that converts our fantasy matchups into live betting lines.
Yeah, you can. Here, let me refresh. But yeah, you sync your league to it. The app is called Verse. If anybody wants to get on there, it shows us how many of the teams in the league have joined. I guess this way it's telling me 2 out of 12 teams have synced.
Yeah,
I guess
it's
that's
just
me and
us.
you.
Yeah. But it's pretty.
Yeah.
You can put real money on it. Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor.
Not yet.
Not yet, but it sure will be.
So right now, Grayson is a minus 129 favorite on the money line, with a spread of, he's a 3.64 point favorite.
So, should we take money line or spread today?
Today's, I say just money line. None of the spreads are significant besides one, but all the spreads are. Like there's one that's plus 0.53. That's just,
It's boo.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's the fun one I have. We'll give you the betting lines as we go through
Yeah.
the matchups today.
It would be fun to bet over unders.
Yeah, I think me and Patrick's over is juicy.
195.32.
Yeah, I think we both are going to put up some high scores.
Nice. But yeah, back to me and Logan. According to the Verse app, I am a 2.97 point favorite with a point total, the highest point total on the week of 219.15.
Wow.
Minus 123 on the money line. Like I said, I like me, but we'll probably know which way this is going when Thursday Night Football ends. Grayson, you take over the mic while I go get Rocky out of Patrick's bedroom.
Yeah, so I'll give you my quick thoughts on this game. Obviously, we got the Caleb Williams, Jaden Reed matchup going on in Logan's lineup. So I guess he's just going to pick, I guess if Jaden's healthy, he'll play Jaden. Jonathan Taylor coming back for Logan. Cooper Kupp coming back for Logan. Yeah, big night tonight for this matchup. I'm going to take Hayden. It's hard to look at Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb in the same on the same team and just not pick it. So, in honor of their first week playing together, I'll take Hayden.
Yeah, I'm taking myself too for the same reasons. I've if nothing else, they might not work out fantasy point wise, but if nothing else, I've got a very pleasing lineup to the eye.
It looks good.
You look at that lineup and you see the names, and you're like, yeah, that team can play ball.
Yeah, it does look good.
Logan's no pushover either. Should have Jonathan Taylor back this week. Who knows in what capacity? But
Cooper Kupp.
yeah, Cooper Kupp back. We'll see how that goes.
But Puka also back.
Puka also back. I wonder. Well, I guess we'll get there in a minute, but we'll have to see if Stubbs is playing him. Next, Andrew versus Hunter.
Mr. Number 1 in the league.
Let's see. Verse has Hunter as a 3.2 point favorite, minus 126 on the money line.
See, this is where when we're talking about matchups, this is important because one of these two teams is gonna have to lose. They're both 5-2.
Yep.
Which opens the door for me and Patrick's matchup. Opens the door for.
I guess it doesn't
that's
matter
it.
for me. I basically.
Well, you're a lonesome 3-4, so really any week
Yeah.
that you're alone with a record, probably not going to matter all too much.
Yeah.
You're going to have to win at least 2 weeks to get a big jump.
Yep. But yeah. I am going to take. I'm going to take Andrew out of principle. I don't like that Hunter doesn't try to fix this issue that he has on his team, and that issue is that Allen Lazard is his wide receiver 2 moving forward, and it looks like he has not practiced yet this week.
Yeah.
So let's see. If Allen Lazard doesn't play, let me look who Hunter can currently put in his spot. Oh, that is right. No one.
Trey Sermon.
No. The wide
Yeah, that's
receiver.
true.
He still has Godwin and Ayuk on it. Like, he literally has no one on his roster.
Let me text him right now as we speak. Check trade. Trade. Smiley face. Winky face.
Like, I kind of just want to send him an offer that is zero fat. I'm gonna see if Sleeper will let me do that.
You can't send 0 fab. I've tried. Another big green matchup for Andrew's bench, though. Green, 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 green.
I just sent Hunter a trade proposal where he just gives me Brandon Ayuk.
That's a good deal.
It's
you
kind
can
of
do what he doesn't have the strength to do.
This is funny. In the trade offer on Sleeper, it says I get Brandon Ayuk, Hunter gets nothing, nada, zip, zilch.
Nice. Did you add that, or did
Sleeper did that.
Wow, Sleeper's so goofy. Look at that.
I'm gonna withdraw that. I'm gonna make Hunter drop him on.
Patrick Mahomes is on the bench for Sam Darnold. Something I didn't think I would say week 8 of the fantasy football season. What about you, Abe?
that's disgusting poo.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't do that, but I think maybe he's just excited to watch.
There's a lot of. It might have been a hedge approach. It might have been a Justin Jefferson can only hurt me so bad if I start his quarterback.
That's true.
It might have been like I can at least get half of what Justin Jefferson puts out if I'm starting the guy who's throwing to him. I wonder if that was the thought process because what QBs are available. I mean, if I were to stream a quarterback this week, quarterback, I probably would have done Kirk Cousins, just because last time he played the Buccaneers, he totally went ape shit.
Patrick Mahomes owns the Raiders.
Yeah, I probably would have played Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, he owns the Raiders.
If you're at the point where you're benching Patrick Mahomes, you might as well just if you're benching Patrick Mahomes against the Raiders, you might as well drop Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, because if you're not going to play him against the Raiders, who are you going?
That is interesting. We might have to call him live on pod and get his take on that. But anyway, I'm taking Andrew out of principle. I want Andrew to win because Hunter's asleep at the wheel. Hunter's on cruise control.
I don't think DK's playing. I don't like the Sam Darnold play. If he puts Mahomes in, then I think he's got a shot. But I'm gonna go with Hunter. Our first split matchup there.
Mm-hmm. Next, we've got Alex versus Eddie. This is our biggest favorite of the week per the Verse app. Alex is a 15.5-point favorite, minus 296 on the money line. Eddie's a plus 186 money line dog. Let's dig into the tail of the tape.
Let's do it.
I mean, the biggest story is that Tua's back and Tyreek Hill is back.
Yeah, back up to a 16-point projection.
So
Just like that.
Tyreek has a massive projection. Alex did just lose Mike Evans for the next few weeks as he goes on IR.
What's the rationale behind playing the Eagles defense, you think, against Cincinnati?
I don't know if there is one.
Yeah, that's a terrible play. That might be the worst play I've seen today.
It looks like he's just been starting them. I guess he must have been starting them every week. Picked them up
And
October
that's
8th.
the inactivity that I just can't stand in the league. I just can't stand it. You got the Jets out there playing New England. They had a bad week last week, sure.
Well, mark that. We'll call everyone that we have questions for.
We're gonna call everybody.
Yeah, everyone that we have questions for. So far, we'll call it. Write these down. We'll call Andrew about Mahomes, and we'll call Eddie about his defense.
I'm writing these down. Andy, Mahomes.
But yes, I'm gonna have to take Alex in this game.
No, I'm gonna take Eddie. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I like that about you.
I'm going to take Eddie as I do every week.
I'll still take Alex. Next is Stubbs versus Davis. Davis is currently favored, minus 144 on the money line, 5.2-point favorite. Davis is the second largest favorite of the week. How about that?
Puka is not in the lineup currently. Is this something we should call, or would that be an unfair advantage?
Nah, I just think it's probably he's just not starting him.
Okay.
Because I know Stubbs is paying attention to that.
Okay.
I think he just doesn't want to risk that.
He likes Wan'Dale Robinson over Puka Nacua.
Yeah, man, I don't know. There's a reason he's 2-5. You know.
Hey.
Anyway, I like Davis is trotting out the new look Mendez this week. He's trotting out the trade team from last week. He's got Debo in there who was recently hospitalized for pneumonia. Tank Dell, James Cook, DeAndre Swift, Dak Prescott, All players that he got from Grayson and I. Or no, I guess, yeah. Did you give him Dak?
I gave him Dak.
Yeah, all players he got from...
I dropped Dak.
Oh.
You picked him up, so.
Yeah, you gave him Dak.
I gave him Dak.
Zay Flowers, or I guess Zay Flowers hasn't practiced.
He hasn't practiced, but I would assume if he plays, he would make it in Debo's spot. I guess he's kind of just waiting to see which one of them play.
Yep.
Hey, let me just say something real quick. I respect the hell out of Davis. I do. He has a bad team. We all know he has a bad team. He knows he has a bad team. He will fight until the very last week of this game that we call fantasy.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, if you have a team that's not winning, you should trade. Now, should you trade to the extent that Davis did? I don't know, maybe not. But what's the point in just sitting there and watching your team week in and week out burn down and lose games? At the very least, Davis, for the second half of this season, gets to root for basically 10 new guys.
Yeah.
And that's fun.
Let me give Davis his respect and flowers as well. But at the same time, I'm going to kind of insult him a little bit.
Sorry, I'm blowing my nose.
It's okay. At the same time, I'm going to insult him a little bit. You have people in this league that when a few things start going not their way, Bryson, whenever things go bad for them, they get all pouty and they're like, "No, fuck this, I'm not trading, Bryson. Not doing anything. This fantasy football hates me. Woe is me type shit, Bryson." You have Davis though.
Yep, the exact opposite.
Who is and this is the part where I said it's kind of an insult, has the worst record all time in our league.
I love it.
But Davis, goddamn, if he doesn't go out there every week and do his best to put out there what he thinks is the best possible team.
And listen, here, let me say one thing. I'll give you your flowers. If I had to start a fantasy league right now, it'd be me and you. We care about this.
Yeah.
Nobody else does.
We live and die.
But who would be my third? It'd be Davis.
It'd be Davis.
It would be Davis.
I said that to someone. It might have been you. It might have been someone else. I don't know. I talked to a bunch of people about fantasy football, but I think Davis is the lifeblood of.
He's
this
the
league.
cog.
Yeah.
He's the cog that keeps me going.
Yeah.
If I didn't have Davis in this league, Davis could be 0-6, and he will wake up that morning and say, "God damn it, I'm going to win this week."
Yes.
Because Bucky Irving's about.
That
to
was
go
my
off.
again. No disrespect to Rob, but it was like week 5. And Rob was already like, "I'm cooked. There's no chance."
Yeah.
Like Davis will be 0-10, needs 6 wins to make the playoffs, and there's no way he can do it. And he'll be like, I don't know. I think there's some things that could happen. That
He
get
will
me in
hang
there."
his hat on guys like Bucky Irving, Blake Corum. I'm sure he's huge on Ray Davis right now, and he will hang his goddamn hat on them, and he will start them. It'll be terrible starts, and he'll say, "I'm putting Bucky in my lineup." Because I want to see him do well.
All right, let's quit glazing Dave.
I'm taking Dave. I'm taking Dave.
We both take stuff.
Yeah. No, I can never.
Yeah, I'll take Dave.
David is.
Oh, what did I just click on accident? Oh, this is cool. Have you ever seen this?
Let me see.
Match overview. I accidentally just clicked the start sit accuracy thing.
Ooh, this is cool.
Yeah, this is neat.
For our podcast listeners, I can't even explain what we're looking at, to be honest.
If you're on the matchup screen and you click where it says like their start sit accuracy, it pulls up a team overview.
It's just total stats for the year.
Yeah, it just shows the total stats for all of it. Like, it's not very useful, but
Well,
it's
that's
neat.
cool. Average fantasy points a week. That's good for us.
Yeah,
Easily take a look at.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
All
That's
right.
cool. I like
Now,
that.
on to the next. We spent way too long on that matchup.
Yeah, with the worst match of the week.
No, this is the worst match of the week. Brayson versus Rob. A battle of the stinky poos.
Paperback game.
Brayson is the very slight favorite, a 0.53 point favorite, minus 104 on the money line. Basically a pick'em. And
I've got Rob easily here.
easily,
I've got
let's
Rob
go, let's
easily.
go band for band on him.
Okay.
So Stroud versus Brock Purdy.
I like Purdy.
I like Brock Purdy too. A-Chain, Aw-Chain, however you say it, versus Jordan Mason.
I like Jordan Mason.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jordan Mason. Brees Hall versus Kareem.
I mean,
I
I
like
like
Brees.
Brees, but Kareem Hunt will be fine.
I like Brees, but he's not gonna blow out Kareem Hunt.
No,
in terms
Kareem
of-
Hunt will be fine.
Drake London versus JSN. Love Drake London.
Yep.
DJ Moore versus Devontae Smith.
DJ
I love
Moore.
DJ Moore. Trey McBride versus Dalton Kincaid. Trey
Trey
McBride.
McBride.
Najee Harris versus J.K. Dobbins.
Probably
Probably
JK,
Dobbins,
'cause
but
New Orleans,
but I think Najee's floor is good enough to where it's going to be close.
And then I like the Niners defense against Dallas a lot too. That's a pretty sharp.
But yeah,
sharp play.
Texans versus Indy is also good. I like Rob. I
Yeah,
like Rob
Rob
to get
a
a
lot.
victory. I like Rob to get a victory. Move to 2-5 or 2-6. Move Brayson to 2-6.
Now Brayson, make some trades, man. Do something. You're tossing in the. After week 2, let me tell you something, Brayson. After week 2, I genuinely told Hayden one day, and I was like, "What's the point in all this? Brayson's team is so far and away the best team. Who's gonna catch him?"
Do you think a guy like Brayson feels stupid? That he's had Jonathan Brooks this whole goddamn time. Is he hoping that Jonathan Brooks is about to show up in a Batman
I
costume?
mean,
and
who's
say,
he gonna play him over? Even if he does come back, you think he's gonna be better than A-Chain, Brees Hall, or J.K.?
I mean, it's probably obviously he can't no one's gonna trade for Jonathan Brooks.
I'll trade. You know, Brayson, I'll trade for him, man.
I don't know why he doesn't do that for
He's got pieces.
in his situation. He needs to trade. He needs to trade Jonathan Brooks and Ricky Pearsall to someone who already feels like they're gonna make the playoffs. He needs to trade Jonathan Brooks and Devontae Smith to a guy that's kind of middle in the pack, maybe the only person in the league that's 3 and 4. Yeah.
I think if we said we weren't going to do this, it's not fair to do. But if I'm Brayson, I'm trading Achane. I reached out for him about Achane, so maybe I'm biased. But I'm trading Achane, and I'm getting a serviceable wide receiver and another bench running back.
Yep.
Play Dobbins in Achane's place and fix the receiving room. Man, there's moves for you. This year's not over.
Yeah. People think it is, but it's not.
It's not.
But that's everybody. Let's make those 2 phone calls real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
Who should we call first? Andrew?
Yeah. Hayden is searching for Andrew.
He's on my
Here he
recents.
is. All right. We're asking him about Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. It's not looking like we're going to get an answer.
You know, this is so Andrew.
Telephone number 7.
All right, let's call Eddie.
Let's give Eddie a buzz. If he doesn't pick up, we'll do the wheel of names.
With already 4 names eliminated from it. Let's see.
Really 5. We're going Brayson last week.
Yeah, Eddie Ramos. I bet Andrew calls back while we're calling Eddie.
Calling Eddie, we're going to be talking to him about the Eagles' defense play.
Yeah.
Don't expect much of an answer here from Ed.
Hello.
Eddie, what's up, my man?
What's up?
Not too much, but you're on live with the Bad Boys Fantasy Football Podcast.
Edward, hello. Something
Hey
funny.
guys.
Hey, we just had a question we wanted to call and ask you.
What's up?
We noticed that you have had for the last few weeks, and including this week, the Eagles defense starting in your roster. This week they're playing against the Bengals. You're starting Joe Burrow and T. Higgins. It just seemed like an odd move, so we wanted to see why you were doing that.
I like their matchup in the coming weeks. This week I was trying to find a defense to play, but I can't find one that I think will get more stats than the Eagles defense.
So, Eddie, let me counter that with you. If Joe Burrow and T. Higgins go off, that's just going to hurt you. It's just going to hurt you, man.
I guess, but I'll still be getting points either way.
Hey,
But you could be getting more, right, if your defense wasn't losing points as your offense did better. You know what I mean? Why don't you start
That's true.
Why don't you start the G-men?
our resident Giants fan.
Yeah, in prime time.
We know how much you love the Giants.
I know how much you'd be like, oh, Brian Burns is so good at football.
Oh, Aziz Ojolari. Oh.
We'll see.
Well, that's all we had for you, man. We appreciate you taking our call. And
Anything you want to say? Anyone you want to call out? Anyone you want to say call pussy?
Alex, you're a pussy.
Yes, I was thinking the same shit.
yes, let's go.
Appreciate it, Edward.
Okay, love y'all. See
Love
y'all.
you.
Love you.
Bye
And that was Wheel of Names. Not so much.
bye. We'll call Andrew one more time.
Yeah,
we'll
let's do
try.
another
We'll
one.
try it. Let me try FaceTime. Maybe he's on his. Maybe he's on the laptop.
If he doesn't answer, we can call Ashley.
That's true. God, don't spill, Andrew. Don't go letting people sniff his dirty dog.
I'm
Like,
so
yeah.
sorry, Andrew. Did I just spill a little secret? I'm talking about Ashley Tisdale.
Oh, Can I call you later?
Andrew, we're live. He doesn't even want to talk to y'all. Let me tell you something, League. If I was getting called on Wheel of Names, I'd pick up so
He
fast.
said, "Can I call you later?" I said, "No, just 1 sec. Call me."
He's gonna think something's bad.
He knows nothing bad be going down. Something bad's gonna happen to me now.
Uh-oh.
So I'd send him another one. Hurry, it's something bad.
Hurry, it's Brayson.
Brayson's here. He's got a knife.
Guys. Oh, we got
Brayson just on my balcony with a
The Jason mask.
with a DeAndre Hopkins jersey with a gun to his head.
Looks like we're not getting Andrew.
Yeah, I guess that's it. If Andrew calls me back in the next 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Damn it, Andrew.
Random dancing.
All right. Well, that's the show, folks.
That's it.
Have a good one.
Love you guys.
We're back. Andrew's calling. Andrew,
Andrew, talk to us. Talk to us.
What's up?
not much, but you're on live with the Bad Boys Fantasy Football Podcast.
What's up, fellas?
Not too much. We just called with a question for you.
What's that?
So we noticed your latest roster move. You picked up Sam Darnold, and you're currently starting him over Patrick Mahomes. Our question is, if you don't feel good about starting Patrick Mahomes against the Raiders, is it time to drop him?
It's just more like a prove it week, you know?
Yeah. Hey, you're making Patrick Mahomes
Prove Mahomes if you're really all that.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten to that point.
Here's the other theory we had.
Yeah.
Are you playing Sam Darnold to hedge your bet against Justin Jefferson going off?
Yeah, that helps.
Okay.
Was that part of the thought process?
Yeah.
All right.
Heck yeah.
Smart move then.
Yeah. I don't hate it. We're about to find out here in a few minutes if it works out. Why don't you tell us any other transgressions you have with anyone else in the league, or just anything you want to get off your chest?
I mean, I just wish that Hunter would respond, but he kind of has, just not really want to make a trade with Hunter. Yeah, and then I don't know, Logan needs to just stop taking everything so personally.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. He just takes everything as a personal attack, you know? So,
They say Napoleon Bonaparte had that same issue.
What did they
yeah,
call
that
it?
would make
again?
sense.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of similarities.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I appreciate you giving me a call back. What are you doing?
I was in the middle of a pickleball game when you called a moment ago.
Well, I appreciate you calling the timeout.
All right.
All right. Pickle on.
Thanks, Beast.
All right, later.
I feel like we'd be doing the listeners a disservice if I didn't try to call Hunter real quick.
You know what? I agree. Did he text me back? I'll give you $100 if he did. He did not. Hunter, I want to hear from you.
Hello, you've reached Hunter. Unfortunately, I am not able to get to the
If this
phone
is
right now,
referring
but
to a
if you could-
fantasy football trade, press 1.
That'd be funny. All right. That's the end
That's
of the
it.
show for real.
Unless Hunter calls back.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Love you guys.